Alright, so I wanted to do a video about doors in general. It's pretty specific because you really need to know what you're talking about in terms of a door, just because there are parts of it that should not be replaced. Simply because most doors, uh, if you're doing any type of replacement work, is going to be pre-hung. And what I mean by that is the door itself, so the part that's black on this door specifically, as well as the hinges, the jamb of the door on the inside, as well as the molding on the out, that comes as a prefab one pre-hung unit. And so you just go, if you look that up, pre-hung exterior service door, go into Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, whatever, you'll see what I'm talking about, that they come with all of the trim and casing around it in full, already set up and ready to go. So when it comes to replacement, what you want to look at is the brick mold on the perimeter, as always. Whether that's a window or a door, we can replace that. We could even replace this nosing here that's between the door itself and then the side light. So just terminology, once again, you have the door, the unit itself with the hardware on it, and the wreath for Christmas, of course. And then on the side here, you have your left side light, your right side light, and then if there was one above, that would be the top light. And those are full units as well. So when you're looking at a door like this, you would not want to price anything on the inside of this side light, whether it's the trim here, anything up against the glass, that's all one unit. And same with the door here. You would never want to price anything on the jamb, which is the part that the door shuts in, or the part that the door is hung on, simply because pulling that board out, by the time you're going through all of the time involved there, it would make way more sense to just replace the entire unit, since you can get a pre-hung door for a few $100s. So that is something we do. As I said with windows before, we don't replace full units, but on a door we can do that. Simply because it is very common to have the jamb of a door rot. Right at the bottom here, if this has an exposed area, it's common that that jamb is rotten, and you can see even here there's a little bit of wear and tear. Or on the other side where it shuts, the jamb, and that's a J-A-M-B, is how you spell it. The door jamb there is a common place to find rot because it's directly up against this bottom metal, and so it's an area where if it's exposed and it doesn't have a portico like I have on my front porch, you can actually see a lot of rot and a lot of damage there. So when you do see that, once again, to be very clear, we can price it. It is something that we absolutely do. It's just something where you need to immediately go to replacing the entire door unit, not just replacing this one piece of trim, which is the door jamb. So that is the way that works. We would need to get an entire new pre-hung door and get out here to install it. So that's what you need to know about doors. We can replace the brick mold, we can replace trim around the perimeter, but we do not want to ever be pricing in replacing a door jamb. Now, on houses that you visit, you may frequently see that you may see a splice at the bottom here on the jamb because somebody didn't want to replace the entire door unit. You'll see a little seam right there where they cut out everything below it because that was the only part that was rotten. We are never going to do that. It's just not the correct way of doing it. It doesn't look good and it never lasts. So for those reasons, when a customer asks, well, can't you just cut out what's rot? The answer is no, I'm sorry, we would need to replace the entire door. And when it gets to the sales process here, we'll go into way more detail around that, but that's kind of the entry-level info that you need to know as of now.